What is going on, guys? It's the Ultimate Frozen Fan here, back for another episode of Flick Jab. This is episode 3. It's been a while since we did Flick Jab. The first two were around the time before The Incredibles came out, talking about Deadpool 2 and The Incredibles 2. And I told you that Flick Jab wasn't going to be, like a weekly or monthly thing or bi-weekly, anything like that. Just whenever a movie came out that I wanted to see, I'd either talk about the movie itself or give a prediction of the movie. Like, there'd be like one certain part that I find about the movie that I want to talk about. So, without further ado, this is episode 3 of Flick Jab, all about Christopher Robin, the new live-action Winnie the Pooh movie. Great movie. It was fantastic, beautiful, loved everything about it. I highly recommend it. However, if you haven't seen the movie yet, there will be spoilers in this video, so this is your spoiler warning right now. You have 5 seconds to click off this video if you don't want it to be spoiled. Okay, so if you haven't clicked off the video, then you obviously don't mind spoiler, or you've already seen the movie, so here we go. Okay, so basically, Christopher Robin follows the story of Christopher Robin after he's all grown up. He's in London, and he's become a workaholic, and he's lost sight of everything, like from his childhood, because his parents send him to, like, the school of, finishing school, reforms, I don't know, some kind of school, type of school that helped him become a man and everything, in London. Later on in the movie, Winnie the Pooh wakes up, and he finds that all of his friends are gone. He can't find any of his friends, and it's really, really dark and dreary in the 100-Acre Wood, and even starts to rain. And that's when Pooh Bear finds the tree that leads to the 100-Acre Wood, from the 100-Acre Wood to the real world. And so he goes through the tree and ends up at Christopher Robin's house in London. So that leads to the interaction from the preview, where it's like, where Christopher Robin's sitting on the bench, like, what to do, and then Winnie the Pooh says, what to do indeed, Christopher Robin, and then that's when he's like, no, I remember this tree was in Sussex, not here. He's like, I suppose it's where it needs to be. So Winnie the Pooh tells him, his friends are missing, and he can't find them, so he brings Christopher Robin back to the 100-Acre Wood, one last time. Well, not one last time, but he brings him back to the 100-Acre Wood. And in the 100-Acre Wood, on their journey, Christopher Robin is getting very annoyed with Winnie the Pooh, because, he's very little brain, and he's almost like a child, doesn't really know any better, and really, like I said, all he really cares about as a grown-up now is his work. So as they're going into the 100-Acre Wood looking for his friends, Winnie the Pooh is moving very slowly, and he's like, Pooh, move faster, and then they get into this whole argument, and then he's like, I'm no longer a child, Pooh, I've grown up now, I've left this place behind, and so then Winnie the Pooh says, well, then maybe you should just let me go. And so at that moment, when Christopher Robin turns around, Winnie the Pooh is gone, and it begins to pour down rain in the 100-Acre Wood. And while Christopher Robin looks for Pooh, he falls into a heffalump trap that they made when he was a child. And the rain, and gets kind of knocked out because he lands on his head and has a dream and everything. And then when he wakes up, he goes to where they used to play Pooh Sticks, and that's when he sees Eeyore floating in the water, and then Eeyore, he helps Eeyore find the rest of Winnie the Pooh's friends, they've all gone hiding because they think there's a heffalump loose, and it turns out that Owl's house has just fallen down again, and his weather vane is making a really bad creaking noise from the wind, and it sounds kind of like a heffalump from a distance to them. And so then Christopher Robin finds Tigger, Rabbit, Kangaroo, and Owl all hiding in a log, they don't believe that it's Christopher Robin, all grown up, but he pretends to fight the heffalump that they're all running from to prove that he's Christopher Robin. And so then they finally believe, that it's Christopher Robin, because only Christopher Robin would fight a Heffalump and protect them. And so then they go looking for Winnie the Pooh, and he's in his usual spot, which is where he and Christopher Robin would sit down when he was a kid, and they just sit down on the log and, talk and everything. And that's where Winnie the Pooh is. And so, they all reunite and everything, and more happens in the story, but I'll leave that out and let you see the rest of it. But I just wanted to talk about that scene in particular, after Winnie the Pooh says, maybe you should just let me go, and then he's nowhere to be found. Here's what I think happened. So when Winnie the Pooh wakes up and finds that all his friends are gone, I think that, the reason is because now that Christopher Robin is an adult, he's forgotten all his friends in the 100-Acre Wood. Except for Pooh. It would take a lot for him to forget Pooh, because, that's his favorite and he did the most of them. And all the trees and everything in the 100-Acre Wood started to die. It started to rain, everything. And, it was just really dark and dreary. It wasn't the happy place that it used to be. And then, like I said, when Pooh says, maybe you should just let me go, he disappears and is nowhere to be found. Now, obviously, since Winnie the Pooh wasn't moving very fast and Christopher Robin told him to move faster, there's no way that he could have gotten away that fast to go over to their usual spot and sit on the log. I think that at that moment when Winnie the Pooh said, you should just let me go, that he disappeared because that was it, Christopher Robin had just left his childhood behind completely, and all his friends from the 100-Acre Wood disappeared, and soon the 100-Acre Wood, would be gone too. After he falls into the hole, hits his head, and the rain starts pouring down the hole and everything, which I forgot to mention, the rain rises, and he's able to get out of the hole, but throughout that he has like a dream of like Winnie the Pooh and Heffalumps and stuff like that, and then the next day, he finds Eeyore and the rest of them. So, I think the reason all that was happening was because Christopher Robin was forgetting everything. And that Winnie the Pooh finally just disappeared. But once he started interacting with his friends again and remembering them in his dream, first he found Eeyore and then the rest of them and then Winnie the Pooh, they all came back because it was no longer raining in the 100-Acre Wood, and everything came back to life. It was nice and bright. His friends were all back, so... I don't think that whole time Tigger, Owl, Rabbit, Kangaroo were just hiding in that log from the Heffalump. I think that everyone disappeared because Christopher Robin forgot them, because we got to remember that it's Christopher Robin imagined all his friends in the 100-Acre Wood and everything, but still doesn't really kind of make sense exactly how everyone's able to see them in London and interact with them, but that's another story. But like I said, that was the thing that I wanted to talk about, about exactly what happened when Christopher Robin came back to the 100-Acre Wood and why all of Winnie the Pooh's friends disappeared. I think it was because Christopher Robin just started slowly forgetting them because he was too focused on his work and everything. So, and then finally Pooh was the last one to go, and he said, maybe you should just forget me. So, alrighty guys, so that is episode 3 of Flick Jab, of my theory of what happened to Winnie the Pooh and all his friends in Christopher Robin and how they came back and all that stuff. Once again, if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it. Great movie. Like I said, hopefully you enjoyed episode 3 of Flick Jab. Let me know your theories and opinions and all that stuff towards Christopher Robin down in the comments below. If you liked what you've seen, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more episodes of Flick Jab and other stuff on my channel. And until next time, guys, this is the Ultimate Frozen Fan signing off.